If you want to see a heartfelt story about mother-daughter trauma that is rudely interrupted by endless exposition and a talkative doctor who says nonsense like
She has a very crucial case of cancer.
a lazily edited film where people can make video calls and see both the person and the phone that they are calling. My Mother is a Witch is the movie for you. My Mother is a Witch, which to my disappointment is not about juju and generational curses, explores intergenerational trauma, conflict, and ultimately forgiveness. It is written and directed by Neya Komolayo, and you can watch it right now on cover.tv. The movie gets going when UK-based Imutia, ably played by Irele, receives a video message from a doctor back home. The girl, who is the fashion editor at Vogue, is being urged to return and bury her estranged mother, who has reportedly passed on from cancer. Now, for some extra push, he also attaches this video message from the mother to her before the death. At the 35-second mark, the camera cuts from the video to show Imutie's reactions. And when we return to the video about 8 seconds or 10 seconds later, the time is still at the 35-second mark. This is just one of the many hints that the editor on this production deserves a lot of flogging. Her mother, Adeshowa, played by Messi Aigbe, doesn't have a number, but as the doctor who had never met her told her later,
I literally had to get some of my friends there too before I was able to reach you.
you see, you see how he left a gap in that statement, right? Because I think he realized that they were just talking nonsense. Got some of his friends there to do what? Why does he leave a gap in the sentence? Did he then just realize the stupidity of what he was saying? And why was it actually left in the movie, in the final cut? Do your friends know her? How did your friends get her private number without actually reaching her? Our lady reluctantly arrives home for the burial, eager to get it over with and return due to some obvious bad blood between her and her late mother. But the doctor, who is as talkative a human being as you can find, seems to always just make things slightly difficult for her as he, tries to compel her to stay in the family house or to later come to the hospital or the clinic where she died, which I found a bit suspicious. Well, at the clinic the next day, just as the girl was getting fed up with this whole situation, guess who walks in? Yup, her very alive mother. Meow, 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 meow. So yeah, it turns out that her mom was still alive, but she just went through the whole rules of having the doctor declare her dead and send the message, as well as the very unlikely performance of the entire compound pretending that she was dead just so that they could get the girl to enter the house and see her. Though she ended up not agreeing to enter the house because, bad memories and stuff. Now, something else. The woman, her mother is actually sick because, wait, let me play it for you so that you can hear how a doctor who is supposedly literate describes it.
She has a very crucial case of cancer.
A crucial case of cancer. I am very sure that no doctor in the history of medicine has ever put those words together in that exact order. The Dr. Ayo, who is played by Timini who I can barely believe is a real actor that is actually paid to act for a living, has gone through all this stress to help this woman because, well, she has been like a mother to him or something. And do you know how she has been like a mother to him? Because when she was very sick and he was treating her, I don't know, he's not an oncologist. I don't really understand how he's treating her for cancer. She paid him in food. Yes, you heard that right. His entire logic being,
I know me. I can never say no to good food.
oh boy. The sick woman had also apparently been trying to raise money to go and see her daughter in the UK, which makes no sense because what airport will you land at, ma? You don't have her address or a number. So how is this even a plot point? Just land in the UK and begin asking people on the road if they've seen your daughter. What? A lot of the woman's story is told through the talkativeness of the doctor, whose monotonous rambling began to piss me off like really early in the movie. Imutie now has no option but to sulk while she sits with her now undead mother at home, especially after she got robbed and lost her wallet and phone and really could not go back to her hotel that night. The backstory is distributed through the movie, so let me just take you down memory lane a little. So apparently, 12 years ago, Imutie had this boyfriend who her overprotective mother did not at all like. Not for anything, but that, it wasn't her plan for her daughter to marry herself off at 19 because of, she didn't want her daughter to repeat the same kind of mistake that she had made. But the girl refused to listen until she finally got pregnant. As it happened, the boyfriend, who is very entertainingly played by Neo Apofure from Big Brother. I love this scene so much. Was actually ready to marry, but the mother was having none of it. So she ended up chasing the guy away, having him beat up, and then inducing an abortion in her daughter to get rid of the baby. It was only after this that she then sent her daughter abroad by force. So, and oh yeah, we also learned that that forced abortion also destroyed Imutie's chance of ever conceiving in future. I don't know the weird thing that they were trying to do between Imutie and the doctor, especially in this scene where the girl leaves the door open while she dresses up and goes on the video call with her UK friend Hannah. It was so weird because I really don't think that this woman would just leave the door open while she has the towel on near a man she had no romantic interest in. It was so weird. They even framed the shot in an expectant way, but he just only seemed a little impressed when she actually finally got dressed. He didn't notice her half naked all the while. And that was just the end of that. There was no more allusion to this. I was like, huh? At the beginning, her UK friend had chided her about being single. So I thought maybe there would be like a callback or there would be something there. But it was just so weirdly done. So after a lot of sulking and thinking and a little pep talk from the mother, the girl finally forgives her mother and they hug it out. Now, because Neyi Akomolayo takes a sadistic pleasure in stressing us, there's this needlessly long scene that I know was left in either by mistake or poor judgment, where these two people are at a wedding for, I think, a family member, and somehow uh, Imutie decides to call her UK friend to, I don't know honestly. Like there is zero audio at this wedding. Nobody can hear each other, or maybe the audio engineer forgot to add in the audio. I have no idea. And we can miraculously see both Hannah's body and phone in this video call. And then the scene goes on forever, such that when Hannah's square changes to her name, I couldn't tell if I was seeing the label that the video editor had put on that shape so that they could add Hannah's video in production later, or because Imutinye is somehow using Zoom to call her friend, and Zoom shows the name. Why? It was such a badly edited, badly shot, badly done scene that I don't understand how Niyi Akomolayo saw this and approved it for production. Like, is Mutie noisily introducing the doctor to her friend during a noisy wedding or what? Like, what was the bloody point of this disgusting scene? Oh, don't forget, you can also follow me on IG at Equi Reviews, where you can watch me live reviewing some of these things on my IG story days before or even weeks before I do the actual movie review, because I reviewed My Mother is a Witch on IG quite a while back. You can also, chat with me there if you have any questions or something you want to recommend. All right, so moving on, I have to emphasize that at no point in this movie did Imutie and her crucial case of cancer mother actually sit down and talk about their trauma, which to me was insane. There was just a lot of flashback and exposition, and then suddenly forgiveness. After the doctor had guilt trip Imutie into forgiving her mother before she dies, I just feel like the writer of this thing, Mr. Neyi Akomolayo, cannot relate to what he's actually writing. It's like he's writing based on what he has heard or what he imagines that this sort of thing must be like. We, of course, come to the obvious logical conclusion, where the mom finally dies in peace. But let's not forget to add another stupid scene where the old boyfriend that really tried his best for you until your mom almost killed him is now an Okada man for some reason. I don't understand where the natural justice is in that. After all this weird, short, straight line plots, Imotien returns to the UK happier with a big frame picture of her mother on her wall. The end. So hopefully I can make this quick. My thoughts in general. In this movie, we get an astonishing amount of information from narration, exposition, and extended flashbacks, which is quite frankly bad filmmaking. And the doctor, AY, is sort of the eyes through which the audience comes to learn of the story. Unfortunately, Dr. AY himself has zero personality. He's just a sponge to accept the information from the main characters, just so that we are able to assimilate it. The doctor is the one person in this story who doesn't know everything, but trusts Adeshowa the mother. He should at least have had his feelings examined by, a confession from the woman that he has been treating, instead of just downloading the gist from her daughter and being loyal to his stomach. I think food was just a weird, weak way to connect him to this plot. They should have made him maybe a distant family member or something. Maybe in the end, the mother should actually confess to the doctor what she did to her daughter's unborn child, so that we can see him struggle with the compassion that he has had for her all this while and his own respect for human life. Just something to make the story interesting, just to make something happen. But unfortunately, the conflict is revealed in the very first, like, 2 minutes of this movie, and then doesn't evolve until the end, where it just concludes without much preamble or introspection. In general, I like the spirit of the movie because of the relatable subject matter. I mean, who doesn't have something that they are angry with the parent about? But the actual production speaks to a shocking lack of attention to detail. Like, even in the end credits, Imutie is just called Imo, a name that nobody in this movie called her. So is it that there was no enough space on the screen to type Mutie, to type the full name? Like, I'm not exactly sure why I thought Mr. Niyi Akomolayan is a great filmmaker. I hope I was not confusing him with Kunle Afolayan. For acting, I'll give the movie a 3 over 5, which is a 4 over 5 because I really, really like Messi Aigbe and Ife. But Timini just ruined the whole thing for me with his bad acting. Like, but this guy gets paid to do this. Wow. Honorable mention to Nia Akpofure. This is my second time seeing him after a weekend to forget, and I must tell you, maybe he is a little rough around the edges, but I really think he would make a really, really good actor if he had some, training or whatever it is that actors do to get better. The story idea is really cool in general, but the exposition and the narration and the dragging scenes really took a big part out of it. So for the story in general, it's a 2 over 5. The editing, well, you know how I feel. This person did not, whoever did it, no try at all. That one is a 1 over 5 straight from me. Overall, I'll give the movie a 2 over 5 because while I liked the quasi intimate mother daughter angle of the story, the execution was just really bad and it could have been better with much less exposition. Oh yeah, before I round up, I wanted to mention I was recently contacted on IG by a very popular filmmaker whose work I have reviewed here. They talked about my reviews, saying how it was quite harsh, but ultimately hilarious, and that they agreed with some of my points. And would I like to interview them and ask them some of the hard questions directly to their face? I said, oh, sure. You know, so hopefully they are not lulling me into a false sense of security in order to kidnap me later. So, keep an eye out for that while we figure out how it will be done. You'll get updates on this on my IG, at Ekwe Reviews. So follow me there. All right, that's it for me for My Mother is a Witch. See you on the next one.